Yo. So we got KOS here. I know I talked about this one a couple weeks ago. We had a couple things play out. I did manage to sell mine without getting screwed. I did buy it at 96. As you see up here, we've been riding in between this pattern here. Not sure exactly what it is yet. But I bought down at the $96 level. I think it was at 112 or so, 120 when I made the video. And I was calling for a possibility of a correction down to $1.15. And we ended up coming up, retesting that line around 130, and then we dumped completely down. So, it was pretty wild. Right here was the pattern that we were in when I was calling for a breakout originally. And it broke up, but it actually was a fake breakout. Touched, got rejected, and fell right back down to the bottom, which created that double bottom. But as you see, we've been trying to test and break out of this thing for a while. We're here again, and we're trying again. And this time, I think we're going to get out, but I don't 100% feel like we are going to stay out, so it's going to be kind of a flip trade here that we're going to want to take a look at. So if you're willing to hop in on this, I'll tell you, I'm not a financial advisor, but, I would tell you how I would play this. Wish I made this earlier, but this kind of all happened today, and I didn't have a chance to make a video. So what I was doing was I was watching this flag here, and I didn't buy it that bottom before the W. Once I sold it around $1.30 before that dump, and then I kind of went, all right, I got to give this thing a break. Now, it had a nice breakout, and I've been playing a bunch of other stuff as well, so I kind of, got this thing off my radar. So I took a look at it today, and I just happened to notice it was bouncing between $1.18 and $1.19. And I took a look and saw this bull flag forming, and I went, wow, we are about to break out. So I bought a shit ton of shares, $1.18 level, and, I was expecting us to go up to the 127 and potentially get rejected. And we kind of bounced between the 126 and 128 here. And I have a feeling we're going to start consolidating right here. Now, it's a little alarming because of how many times we've been rejected, and this could be a potential double top of some sort. But, let's just take a quick fib retracement here. From the swing low to the swing high. So as you see, at $1.23 is the 0.236. So I have a feeling we're going to bounce between there and then 127 for a little bit as we go in this bigger kind of looking like a bull flag. Honestly, this actually looks like a bigger bull flag now, which I didn't even notice till right now. So we actually might be at the top of this bull flag, which I guess potentially we could come back down if we get rejected here and test the $122 level before we continue back up and give it another try. But we'll have to see how it goes. But on Monday, that's what I would look for, maybe an entry around 122. Unless you're nervous to play it, then you could wait for a breakout and a confirmation. But I think that if I was going to play this, I would look for a buy around 122 area. And if you can get it a little lower, I don't think it's going to go lower than that because the original breakout was from 119, so maybe you'll retest that. But I have some price targets here anyway. As you see, we had this golden cross down here when we weren't watching it. I don't know if anyone else got in on this. And it pushed us right up. And now we have some type of pattern we're in. Like I said, it looks like a bull flag. So I'm looking for a price target out of this to my guess, or not even my guess, but from my calculations, this thing is going to go to about 100, I wish, motherfucker. $1.45, $1.43. Now, you see on the 4-hour, we're about to get a golden cross, so we're going to get pushed up once again. So even though it looks like a little double top and we might bounce between 122 and 128 for a little bit, this golden cross that comes in is going to push us up Now, the first rejection point we're going to have to watch for, though, is the $1.32 once we break out. Now, depending on how much power we come out with. Now, we got a nice rounding bottom out of that golden cross we talked about. There's a couple alarming things with this though, which is why I'm planning to most likely sell. Now, when we take a look at this overall, it looks like it could make some kind of massive W, which would be amazing because, the top line there where we've continuously got rejected is somewhere between $3 and $4. So, if we're going to have some crazy news come out, or, for me, I don't trade off of news anyway, but that would help us, obviously. I don't even look at the news. Half the time, I don't even know what half of these stocks are that I trade. I just go off of the patterns. Now, on the negative side of this all is it kind of looks like a bear flag. And if it was a bear flag and we have this breakout here to $1.40 and then we end up getting rejected and we come back down and we can't hold that bottom $96 level, I mean, that breakdown is 24 cents. So, there's things that I've seen in a couple different charts that I've been looking for recently since this Corona dump that we had. And a lot of stuff looks kind of similar where it's trading into pattern kind of like this. Like Boeing, for instance, it's trading in a pattern just similar, and it broke out actually to $1.85. Came back down to a 176 today, yesterday, retested that triangle, and it broke back up. Now, this thing could do a couple different things, of course. We could chatter around in here, come up to this 145, come back down, retest for support, create a W. We could come back down, retest this overall triangle or wedge we're in, or it could just completely rock it up like no tomorrow, which I don't think is going to happen, and I hope it doesn't. I like to see stuff go up slowly and come back down, retest support. Now, the things that scare me a little bit and why I'm saying it's probably going to come down to $1.22, and I don't think this is going to 100% break out, I just know I have a strong entry point, is the bearish divergence on the 4-hour. Now, even though we have golden crosses coming in and whatnot like that, we already have MACD crosses and all that, so there's not too much going on that's telling me this thing's going to keep on moving up like crazy, besides the patterns. So we do have bearish divergence on the MACD, and we're straight across on the MACD, and we're a little lower on the right here on the 4-hour. Now, it could continue up and break this bearish divergence, but for right now, we do have that. Either way, I 100% feel that we are going to at least get to this 132 level. So you can make a play from $1.22 to $1.32, make some sales, maybe sell half of it, and ride the rest up if it potentially wants to come back up. And at that point, you will have a strong position at the 122. You could have your stop loss right at your entry price and break even if you screw up, or if, it doesn't work out this way. But I have a feeling we're going to come up to this 132, get a little bit of a rejection, come back down, retest this pattern at $1.27, and head back up, retest it again. If we can break through, we'll go up there. Now, the warning signs is the bear flag, but on top of that, this kind of looks like on the daily, it could maybe turn into a head and shoulders pattern. So depending on how this plays out, we're going to have to keep an eye on that as well. Now, my thoughts on that is if we can get enough volume to come in, we might be able to break through that. And, I have a couple speculations on this, and I'm going to just run them by and run them in this video. I have a feeling that this thing isn't going up to $4, but I do think that it's going to get a pretty good move. And my measured move of that overall bull flag is $1.68. So I could definitely see that coming in. I think that we are going to come back down and retest this pattern eventually at the bottom again, because we are breaking out right now, and it's a little bit soon. On the daily here, we're getting nice rounding. But if you take a look at what could happen is, this is what I'm speculating. is we're going to come back up and try to test this high of the RSI here where we peaked out last time we got a nice bounce. It's going to look somewhat like a Head and Shoulders here. And we could take a picture of this and look back at it in months from now and see if this is actually what happened. But I think we're going to get another boom like we did in March when we had that blow off top. And we went up to like 2 something. Once we get through this resistance, though, we might have that pretty good, I'm going to draw some trend lines here and try to see if we can figure this out. Now, right around here is why I'm thinking $1.45. Because if we go off of the resistance of the blow-off top that we had in March, obviously it was way up there in March. Now, since we've spent so much time down below, the trend line's kind of moved down a little bit. Now, this could be a monstrous pattern as well and not a bear flag. And if we look at it this way, this could potentially be a smaller pattern inside another pattern, inside a bigger pattern. And if we continuously move up in here, if we can get past this 132 level and break out of this 128, 132 seems to be a pretty good rejection. The top of this, where our next blow-off top potentially could be, is the 145, $1.45. And that right there, to me, would signal this peak of this daily RSI. And we can move up this rising channel that we're in on the daily and come up and touch this RSI up top here, which would be the $1.45 level. And that would be the blow-off top. That would crash us all the way back down into this pattern. And from there, we're going to have to distinguish, is it a bear flag? And we're going to go down to 24 cents after that. Or are we going to play a little bit longer in there before we actually break out of it and end up going up to that $3 level? Of course, it's going to take a while. But the $1.45, I could see that incoming in the next couple months. So it really depends. This is something that I'm trying to speculate, because when I have my money in something and I'm looking at charts, I want to know, where could this potentially go? Should I make this a long play? Should I make it a short play? By looking at these different scenarios, it definitely helps you. Hence what the name of technical analysis is. You analyze the technical possibilities of this. Of course, it's not a crystal ball. Learning TA is not having a crystal ball and knowing exactly where things are going to go, because of course things can change on a dime. But what it is it gives you probabilities of good probabilities of how things are going to play out. So you could say this pattern right here where we're talking about has a 60% chance of breaking out and a 40% chance of breaking down because of this, and this. So that's kind of what it's all about. It's not like, oh, it's going here, motherfucker. I already know I'm going to put my whole house, I'm going to sell my house and do this and that, and just to put it all into this because I know it's going to 145. No, that's not how it works. So, you kind of just watch it and piece it out like a puzzle. So obviously, as you see, we're in a gigantic falling channel or some type of some kind of channel that we've been in for a very long time, and I'm hoping that we're going to come up and test that, but I think that's, might be years away before we get up to that $373 level. So anyway, where we're at right now, I would probably, like I said, look for that entry point of the $1.22 or a retest of this bull flag here that we broke out of. There's no signs really besides the bearish divergence that we have going on that are telling me that we're going to go down. So that's what I'm just thinking. We got to watch that bearish divergence, watch the price action, and watch a couple other things here that could turn into a rejection like we've had in the past. I don't want to see a double top or anything like that. All the MACD have crossed over positive on every single time frame except for the monthly. And the monthly lines up perfectly with the bottom of the other lowest point on the MACD there. We're straight across. So, if this all is going to be in confluence with each other, are we going to come up and create that head and shoulders that we were speculating, which is going to bring us to the $1.45, maybe $1.68, maybe higher? I can't tell you right now. All I can tell you is that it's looking strong, and it's creating these bull flags and these patterns here and getting these crosses, these golden crosses, and it's looking really good. So even though we had a couple fake outs and dumps down, it's all kind of making sense and becoming clear to me now why, because we keep getting rejected up here. Now we're starting to, and this is only on the 15-minute, of course, consolidate right here. So, that low that we had, it looks like we had that red candle there around $1.22, $1.25, something like that. We're going to consolidate somewhere in this range. And, it's probably what we're going to do come Monday. We're going to consolidate for a little while again. And, that's fine. I love that. Until this golden cross comes in and we're going to break out, and it's probably going to be another bull flag or some type of triangle here that's going to push us up, and then we're going to retest this $133 to $135 level. 136 is really where I see this 100 EMA. But these crosses that we're getting is huge, even just on the 4-hourly. And look right here in the daily, more crosses coming in. So even though it looks like it could turn into some type of head and shoulders pattern, even on these like smaller time frames and stuff, I don't think it's going to. I think we're going to continue up. The daily EMA there right now is at $1.13. But if we come down there, I'm stopped out, and that's it. I get my stop loss at $1.16. I might even move it to my entry price. So, if it comes back down there, I'm stopped out anyway, and then I don't even really give a shit. I'll probably be pissed off at that point and say, fuck this thing. Even though that's still in the realm of possibilities.